What a week, what a week. Everyone was waiting for Jerome Powell on Friday in Jackson Hole to prepare his speech, and he came in, guns blazing, showing everyone that he's the man. Are you ready to summarize the week with all the news and also talk about what Jerome Powell said and what he didn't say, mainly what he didn't say, and how it's going to impact our investments and your money? Quick reminder, this is not financial advice. It's only for education and entertainment. That's what I think I need to say. Are you ready for it? Let's go. So hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hello, my name is Micha Stocks, and on this channel we talk about the news heading into the stock market. So you will be very much prepared for your investments, and everything and anything that I say is not financial advice. I said it twice already, so you probably understood that. This is our channel. It currently has 4.06k subscribers. You're more than welcome to subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on so you'll be notified every week that this video is uploaded. And let's dive in. Here we go. The markets. You know what? Since this is the English-speaking channel and I haven't given you the background, let's start with the background. Friday, Jerome Powell, Jackson Hole. After a week of deliberations, stands in front of behind the podium, 10 a.m. Eastern, and says the time has come. The time has come to change policy, to reduce rates, because we have seen inflation going down close to our target, around 2%. We have seen the labor market starting to cool down, and we are afraid that the unemployment is rising, and it will rise too high for us to prevent a recession. He didn't say the word recession, but I just added it as commentary. Meaning that Jerome Powell admits to the fact that inflation is falling like a rock, that labor market is cooling down, and he is up for the task. The two words, or the one word that he didn't mention during the whole speech, which was fully scripted and no diversion from any word, is that it's going to be gradual. He never said the word gradual. And why is that important? Because it means that maybe we might see stronger rate reductions than even the market expects, because basically we are so high in our rates that we might come down. Even if we come down to it, we're not gonna. But from 5.5 to 4.5 in 2 meetings, we will still be too tight. So stay tuned. It's gonna be pretty bumpy ride. Now, let's go back to the market. Why? Because most of the action happened Friday, right after Powell's speech came out. As you can see, the markets loved what they heard. The Russell 2000, the most impacted by rate hike companies, IWM is the ETF that follows them, was up 3.6%. RSP, which is the S&P 500, but divided equally, up 2%, and at an all-time high. S&P closed in less than 1% from all-time high, up 1.4%, and the NASDAQ up 1.09%. Why is this picture so interesting? Because the RSP, being at all-time high, up 2%, kind of eliminates the discussion around only Magnificent Seven are pushing the market forward. Why? Because you can see that if the RSP is an all-time high, while the S&P isn't and the NASDAQ isn't, it means that the participation in the rally has broadened and not only focused on the Magnificent Seven, and that takes out a lot of air from the bears' arguments. Look at the sectors, the indices themselves. The XLRE, the real estate, up 3% for the week. XLY, consumer discretionary, up 2.5%. Then materials and industrials and healthcare, meaning we're seeing more and more sectors participating in the rally. When we look at the Magnificent Seven, they haven't outperformed. Nvidia is the only one that outperformed the rest, and Nvidia is going to be our main focus at the end of this video, 3.8%. But Tesla up only 1.9%, Google up 1.6%, Apple fractionally up, Meta again, same thing, Amazon on the week, Microsoft down 0.4%. Participation is wide and by companies which are not the Magnificent Seven. Crypto market on fire, up 8.3%, and Ethereum up to 7%. While I'm recording this video, Telegram founder was obtained in France, and he is facing 20 years in prison for a lot of charges. Why am I mentioning that on the crypto slide? Because one of the cryptocurrencies named TON, T-O-N, collapses following the news of his arrest. I wonder why he's arrested. Actually, I know the charges, but never mind. So that might impact for Bitcoin for the rest of the week. When we look at commodities, we can see gold and silver up between 0.8 and 2.8, while crude oil and natural gas down on the week. Gold, by the way, all-time high. Silver, not yet, but approaching those levels as well. And that brings us directly to the news. Let me change my focus here. And we talked about Fed Chair Powell. There was a revision for the U.S. job market up until March 2024. Apparently, for the last year, the reports were, let's say, a bit too optimistic. That reduction and that revision brought down 880,000 jobs, which again pressures the Fed to act faster in reducing rates. Boeing with another. You know what? It's hard to find good news about Boeing, and I'm not going to provide you any good news because I don't have. Boeing is leaving 2 astronauts in space for another 6 months because they're not able to bring them back, which means that NASA has awarded SpaceX with the task of bringing astronauts back, and Boeing with another tomato to the face. Beth Kindig from IO Fund updates that generative AI spending is expected to surge over the next 4 years by 60% CAGR, from $40 to $201 billion. And if you're saying to yourself, oh, it's a bubble, who's going to spend so much? Listen to Amazon CEO Andy Jassy. He talks about the impact of generative AI, and he says the following. The average time to upgrade an application to Java 17 plummeted from 50 developer days to just a few hours. When you estimate that, it has saved us, the equivalent, us meaning Amazon, the equivalent of 4,500 developer years of work. Yes, he says, the number is crazy, but it's real. Now, every company that sees this cannot be in a world where they're not spending like crazy to be on the forefront of AI. Because if they're not spending like crazy, their competitors are. And if their competitors are spending like crazy, they're going to outbeat them on releasing more features, more capabilities, and maybe even doing that with less headcount. And if there will be a less headcount and more capabilities, that company would win the race. Intel, after Boeing, the only company I can mention that might be in a worse situation is Intel. Worse situation. They're hiring Morgan Stanley because they're afraid that activists are going to start attacking the management and the way they operate. And that is after Lip Bontan resigns after the disastrous quarter. He's a director at Intel. FDA approves Pfizer and Moderna COVID vaccine, the updated one. This is Eric Schmidt that talked to Stanford students last week and said that he believes $300 billion are going to go to Nvidia in the next few years. Put a 20 price to sales on that. That brings you to Nvidia of a valuation of around $5 trillion. Would that happen or not? Who knows? But those are crazy numbers. Money market funds climbed to all-time high $6.2 trillion. Market is up 19% from the beginning of the year. What are people doing in money market funds? I have no clue. What are they afraid of? They might be right. I don't know. But I can sell my S&P that went up 19%. Even if it goes down 5%, I will still make more money than money market funds. Why? Nobody knows. That money should come back to the market probably. US dollars is seeing a surge. 48% of transactions are done through US dollars. Someone said the US dollar is dead, right? No, it's not. Ford delays their new EV plant. Netflix sees a 150% increase in companies signing up for ads on their platform. Eli Lilly, after 3 successful implementation of tirzepatide studies that are related to obesity drugs, improving fibrosis, reducing severity, sleep apnea, and also reducing the risk of heart failure comes this week and saying they have reduced by 94% the developing of type 2 diabetes. Apparently, when you control not only your weight, but also your sugar, a lot of good things happen. Affirmandhotel.com start a partnership. Boeing pauses their test for 777X after finding that damage to one of their jet structures. You can't keep on doing that, Boeing. Trump offers Tesla CEO Elon Musk a cabinet slot. Harris proposes to raise corporate taxes back to 28%. AMD acquires at the beginning of the week ZT Systems, a server and implementation company to expedite AMD's AI ambitions. Goldman Sachs cuts their odds for US recession to 20%. And GM and Uber collaborate and create a strategic partnership to provide driverless rides in 2024. And that brings us to the week ahead. I can talk to you a lot about the week ahead, how it's going to be volatile. People are going to analyze Powell's decision and a lot of other things. I can keep on talking for the next 10 minutes, but I won't. I will just show you this chart. Because on Wednesday, this company is going to report. Currently, it's the most important company in the market. If the report is even slightly bad, expect the worst. If the report is okay, still expect the worst. Only if the report is amazing, you can keep on smiling. Nvidia reporting on Wednesday. We have more companies reporting Tuesday. We have a few like Sentinel-1, Box, and Umbrella, Nordstrom as well. But Wednesday is a big Wednesday. We have Abercrombie & Fitch, Chewy, Foot Locker, and others. And after the bell, we get Nvidia, CrowdStrike, Salesforce, Affirm, Okta, Viva, Five Below, HPQ, and NetApp. Crazy day. Thursday, we have Best Buy, Dollar General, and after the close, we get Dell and Lululemon. From a macro perspective, we get Friday PCE, and from the S&P 500 perspective, we are very close to all-time high. All-time high will be at 5669.67, but we still have a gap that we haven't closed, back around 54 to 55. We just need to keep above 55.66, otherwise we go down to close that gap. That was the weekly summary. I will see you next week. Same time, same place. We're going to summarize the week, and hopefully we will start by saying this week was Nvidia's week. Till next time. Bye-bye.